So Joel Embiid went off against the Boston Celtics last night, proving why a lot of people do see him as one of the candidates that can compete for the NBA MVP this year. Against the Celtics, he had 42 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block, and 2 steals, while also shooting the three at 20%, which wasn't that great, but having an overall field goal percentage of 63%. And with this has shown what a lot of people have seen in Embiid and with Philadelphia for a lot of time this season. Embiid has played extremely well in the last week and for the majority of the season, to be honest, and has really come into his own, proving to a lot of people why he is one of the best big men in the league and why a lot of people do see faith in him as a player who can reach the aspects that are asked of him as a championship. I mean, in the last 2 games that he played and in the last 3, he had 45 points against the Boston Celtics, with him also scoring 16 rebounds in that game as well. And overall for the season, Embiid's averaging 26 points, 11 rebounds, and 2 assists, while also having a PER of 29. And along with that, he's also shooting 36% from the three-point range, and he's also having a free throw percentage of 83%, along with 2.2 in win shares. So with this, Embiid has really come into his own and maybe playing the best basketball we've seen from him at the moment, and is really playing with a sense of freedom that he can perform to the best of his abilities and the best sort of form that we've seen him in. And I mean, a lot of this can be put down to having a new coach in Doc Rivers. While Brett Brown in Philadelphia was a fan favourite, and both players like Embiid and Simmons did like him as a person and as someone who was there with them from the beginning of the process, a lot of the plays that Brett Brown ran weren't exactly the best for Embiid, having him stand on the three-point line waiting for a handoff of someone like JJ Redick or Shake Milton or TJ McConnell, and then from there having him drop into the elbow or the paint to wait for a post shot to come, or even sometimes just wait on the perimeter for him to take a ill-advised three. But with Doc Rivers now in charge of the team in Philadelphia, it has seemed to be a bit of a better run team, with the main fact that when he does get into the plays, you can see how differently it is run. If someone like Shake Milton or Ben Simmons does bring the ball into the court for them, Embiid straight away gets on the elbow or does get on the post lines for him to start getting ready into his form. Or if it is a pick and roll that is done with Simmons, then while he is at the front of the 3-point line, straight away he does look to get back into the paint and look to get available for post shots. So this is something that really has helped him to become a better player overall and just enjoy the game of basketball and the way that he feels it should be played. He's playing it to a great extent. And I mean, looking at him as an MVP prospect, a lot of the teams that are in the league haven't impressed as much as Embiid has. I mean, when you look at the likes of Kevin Durant for the Nets, while he is performing quite well, they don't have such a good record compared to Philadelphia, with them only having a record of 9-7 compared to Philadelphia's 10-5. And then when you look at someone in the West, I'd say that his biggest competitor would be someone like LeBron James, with the fact that LeBron and the Lakers do have one of the best records in the league. But with LeBron, his stats are a bit down compared to what we usually expect of him, along with his minutes. But that is to be expected of LeBron, since they had such a short come over to the next season after they won the championship last year in the bubble. And then when you have someone like Paul George as well, who a lot of people do see as an MVP candidate, I mean, while Paul George has been performing well, a lot of problems that people do see in someone like George is the main fact that while he is a great regular season player, the stigma that has been attributed towards him for his failures in the postseason is something that will tarnish his image. As well, he may win an MVP trophy or he'd be in contention for it. A lot of people would expect him not to bring those talents to the postseason, and to falter at the line when it really matters. But back onto Embiid. So with the performances he has brought into him,
Sure, he knows
the main
himself,
thing for
and
him is to be consistent and just to provide the sort of game that people expect of him to bring every single day. And with something like that, the main thing for him is just being able to condition his body well to come to a point where in a 70 or 72 game season, he's playing at least 60 games or at least playing 50, 58 games and being able to be in a position where while people do see him as a great prospect, he's someone that they are able to see night in and night out as someone who is looking to be the best big man of the league and challenge someone like Nikola Jokic for that position. So looking at the Sixers overall, they have really improved as a team. And while someone like Simmons' stats are down, you can see in the way that someone like Tobias Harris is playing, the people like Seth Curry has been a great addition to the team along with Danny Green, and even the rookie that they picked up in Tyrese Maxey have all attributed to helping the Sixers perimeter shooting, which thus in turn has allowed Embiid to come a bit more open in the paint with the spacing that they provide with him. And it's allowed him to become this prospect and this sort of danger man in the paint area that has allowed him to become who he is today and compete for an MVP trophy. But they were just my quick thoughts. Follow me on the socials below at Majesty Hottie on Facebook and Instagram. And like and subscribe, and peace out.